Alrighty, hello every folks, and a pleasant afternoon. So, decided to go back and kind of give a little bit of a quick peek around this map, see if I might be able to possibly find some stuff that could be useful. And yeah, I just ran into a skeleton here, which, well, I was meaning to go ahead and try and recruit, but oh well. I guess he kind of got vaporized. Oh well. He tried. So, I found out a couple things about. Ooh, hello. Apparently they dropped cool stuff. Actually, somebody vaguely mentioned a little while ago that some of the random encounters will drop random stuff sometimes. So that, worst case scenario, that's always a backup strategy, I suppose. But yeah, what I wanted to see, there were a couple areas on this map that I just never really got the chance to explore last time. So I figured I'd give it a little bit of a drop by here, see if I can go take a peek. Also, can't help but notice that Twitch actually remembered to properly update the title for once. What the hell? That never happens. Alright, let's go ahead and try to recruit this guy if at all possible. And go ahead and he joined! Okay, good. So apparently we somehow were, I guess, nice enough that the skeleton decided to join. I'm not sure if we should be worried about that, but oh well. Also, I'm not entirely sure what will happen if I end up transferring him into a fairy's body, but we'll find out about that later, I suppose. Also, wow. Holy crap, there's a lot of them here. Huh. Yeah, I don't think they'll end up keeping the same properties in class, at any rate. I was not persuaded? Well, then he'll be persuaded to die. Simple enough. Funnily enough, that's strange. Okay, I thought... I definitely would have thought that they needed to actually be exercised, but I guess the same rule applies that did in many of the other games. Oh, you know what? Actually, if they're going to be this common of an encounter, it could potentially be an infinite training method out of that, even if it's only like 2 friggin' monies at a time. Okay, either way, we're not at that point yet, so we haven't really run into a battle yet where Steve hasn't been able to at least, be the friggin' curb stomper that he always wanted to be. So, if we get to the point where he's actually getting, like, thoroughly trounced, then it's a bit of a worry. But up until then, hopefully it's not going to be much of a problem. Actually, let's have you run over here. He's probably going to have to camp pretty soon, but this feels like the kind of area that would have stuff, On top of that, I need to hopefully run into a Hawkman at some point. So what I've been told about those, if we can probably just go ahead and dispatch butts here. If we just have somebody walk up and down the roads, we should be able to hopefully get one of those. So, yeah, apparently if you walk up and down the roads, there's a rare chance to run into fairies, hawkmen, all that kind of thing. So I figure if we send enough guys up and down these roads here, we might go ahead and find something. So I'm gonna try just one quick map sweep here, see if we can get a hawkman. Apparently once you, if you get one of a, I guess, for lack of a better term, evolved form, then you can have them lead a party. The basic ones can't. But one thing that was always true in March of the Black Queen was that you could get all variants of all different kinds at any given point. So, I suppose there's always the possibility that, maybe it'll be just fine. Maybe they'll be able to get all of them. Rather, maybe all of them should appear. So we'll see if that's the case. If not, then it isn't. But either way, we're just going to do one quick map sweep here, because I do want to get on with story stuff, because it does feel like the kind of time that we should be doing that kind of thing. Alright, plumed headband. Why does that make you worse at resisting holy? How does that work? We got large shields, breastplates, heal pack. Restores 150 to all members of a unit. Okay, that seems very handy. Dang, that's really good. Yeah, they definitely make you worry about your purchases here. So I'm going to go ahead and buy 2. Alright, so she's going to carry one of them. I'm going to give another one to Steve. I'm going to go ahead and stock up on these leaves a little bit. Perfect. Alright, so I'm going to save the rest of the money. We'll see what else ends up happening. Oh, whoops. Is that's not moving? Is that Katrina? Yeah, that's Katrina. Okay. So you're going to go over here. This seems like the longest road distance, so hopefully they'll end up running into them. But yeah, so fairies, gremlins, hawkmen apparently all hang out on roads. Steve's reached his destination. Can probably tell him to camp a little bit before he goes and hangs out in the mountains. Thankfully, because of that baton thing that he got during his birthday events, he basically can march very, very quickly. Also, these guys decided to completely skip the roads I wanted them to walk on. Absolute dicks. I would tell them all to go, but I can't do like a select all and then go over here or something like that. That would be very handy. Oh well, oh well. Yeah, look at that. It's been like 5 seconds, he's already broken camp. And whatever friggin' amazing music is playing out of that stick, it must be the best. So the reason that I want to get a Hawkman, by the way, is because right now, as you can probably tell, all my units are ground-based. The thing with ground-based units is obviously they're going to be very slow, they're going to be limited by rivers, and if I can get Hawkman leaders, that would be very, very handy. Because, again, I can recruit other units, I can get new types of stuff, but the ability to fly is never going to be one of those things. At least not without a little bit of assistance. So if I can get a Hawkman leader, I can get them to at least what I believe to be a low-flying state, which means that they can still fly over, you know, a good bit of the area. Let's see, if I check on their status... Okay, they don't have... That guy just has Grunts. What about you? I know you've got fairies. So yeah, what do they count as? Sky. Okay, so they are just... I don't think they have low and high sky then. In March of the Black Queen, you had low sky, which was the fairies there, which meant that they could hover, they could clear walls. But I think they were just slower than high sky? Not sure. It's a bit unclear. Either way, I'm gonna have Steve search the mountains here. It's the only real huge area of the map that I haven't gone and taken a peek at yet. Amanda, tell me if there's anything over here. I think we explored this area too, but any little nooks or crannies that might potentially have some stuff are worth looking into. So that's the plan here. So we gotta try to get a few more items, maybe get some encounters or all that kind of thing. And if we can get a Hawkman, ideal, ideal. Because already I've noticed a couple maps now where the ability to fly over a mountain or fly over a river or something like that would have been very, very advantageous. Even if they're not amazing at fighting, if I could at least have one of those to serve as a distraction, that could do a lot of good here. So it could potentially make or break the run, I feel, so that's what I'm gonna go ahead and have everybody marching off for. Thankfully, unlike MOTBQ, we don't really have to worry about the logistics of the situation, so we don't have to pay for all these guys to be out here. By the way, side note, if you've ever wanted to play MOTBQ, but you wanted to have a few more OB64 mechanics in there, go ahead and check out Ogre Battle Hard Type. It's kind of an awkward name, but it's a really good mod. It basically ups the difficulty of MOTBQ. Definitely would have to say that all of the day and night mechanics play a lot more of a factor. And in general, you end up finding yourselves like just sieging cities and all that a lot more often. Right, butts, get in that town. Get your butt in there. Alright. Man, everybody's having a bit of a camp off here. Meanwhile, Steve's up in front like a man. I don't get how you guys get tired. Friggin' pansies. Gotta get walking. Gotta get your exercise going. Alright. Butts. Not a whole lot of stuff going on there. I've been told to go back and recheck some of these areas after we already left. You know, potentially they might have some stuff. I'm not going to remember to do all of them, but oh well. Tell me that people are equal, everyone dies from this, that, or the other. Money or status won't save anyone from the Grim Reaper. Hell yeah, that's a good policy. So that people realize this when facing death. Very true. Very true. It's, money isn't... Well, to be fair, money does actually protect some people from that. It's just only for a limited time. That's why Medicare is so friggin' expensive, even though it totally doesn't have to be. Though I have to say, that's a whole depressing scenario if you think about it. It's like, okay, we're at a position now, like, as a species, where we basically have everything that we could ever possibly need already taken care of. But the only reason that a lot of stuff is so expensive is just because a few folks are like, yeah, no, I need more than that, though. Like, what do you need more than that, though? You already have every single thing you could ever possibly need covered. Yeah, no, but if I charge more, then more resources for me, less for somebody else. Like, but you already have basically infinite resources. Well, I want infinity plus one. Why? Why must you be a dick? And basically it just comes down to survival instinct, actually. It's like oftentimes the argument is, oh yeah, no, it's just because somebody's super evil or something. Like, no. It's weirdly enough just a part of human programming, as far as that goes. Because yeah, if you have a resource, your immediate instinct is to try and protect it. And, you know, if you have something, it's already protected, you have it secured, then your immediate instinct is go get more. So usually that's why when you see somebody rich getting richer and not really seeing the problem, that's why. But anyway, I think we have this map cleared out. I'm going to see if there's anything going on in the sport that's potentially interesting. Suppose we'll find out. And if we don't get a Hawkman, we don't get a Hawkman for now. Again, the only units I can transform other characters into is, like, for example, if there's a certain... Ooh, neat. If there's a certain character that I want turned into Fairy or Gremlin, I can do that. But for example, anything else, like any leader characters or whatever else, I have to either create them or promote them. So that's basically to prevent this entire run from turning into a weird cheat fest, which I don't want to do either. Alright, so tell me what's going on in the sport then. Ooh, you look fancy. Let's see, east of here, rolling hills with fertile soil. Okay. That guy looks fancy. Alright. Yeah, I think we're probably done here. Let's go back to the world map. I don't think that affects your standing in the world at all. But I'm going to give Steve one training session here, just to see what we end up running into. And the answer is zombies, because of course zombies. Yeah, what I was told about they run in a specific order. Yesterday I was running a little bit of a test for the OB64 mod folks, just to kind of see what happens if you end up going and raising their stats to some ridiculous degree. Namely, the question was, with vitality and dexterity boosting their stats, just how much it does. You know, just how high it goes. So what I did, Mosquito, that's the one that's right in the center of the back row there. I went ahead and raised them up by increments of 100, all the way up to, I think, like 400 and 500. And yeah, even at 400 and 500, which, if this game follows any trends from the previous ones, is just an amount that is plain unobtainable under normal circumstances, then, yeah, no, the maximum they could ever do is like 150. Because it seemed like around the point that they got to the 200 to 300 whatever range, up till then they were only doing like, I think it was like, first they did 14, then they did 24, then they did like 30. Every 100 points in that stat caused their damage to go up by about 10. But bear in mind, this is against an enemy whose defense is staying static. So once they got to, you know, those 900 extra stats, then they got to the point where they were doing 150, which is just plain horrific, quite frankly, but either way. So I'm gonna do, looks like I can afford about 3-4 trainings. Ooh, you look interesting. Wait a minute. What? No, he just said the same thing as the other one. For a second there I was wondering if this might be the dragon leader for this one, but I don't think so. We'll see. We will be right back though. Hold on one second, I gotta go check on my little one. Alrighty, and I'm back. Looks like everything went well there. So let's go do a quick little test here for items. I go ahead and sell some of this garbage. Like, for example, I don't really plan to use fencers. Because quite frankly, I think they're going to be like the samurai that were showing up in March of the Black Queen. And my god, did those guys kind of suck. Alright, we're going to get rid of 2 of those. Because of my previous things that were covering classes and all that, I'm fairly certain the claymores needed to make a swordmaster. And I've been told they're pretty good. So we'll see. I'm going to keep that around. Just on the off chance that it'll become helpful. Let's see, some menace. It's weird that it makes you less resistant to wind. But whatever. I'm probably gonna need to see what element Butts is. I feel like everybody else is doing kind of okay. But if I can up his offensive potential a little bit, that might be handy. Let's get rid of some of that plate mail. Torn cloth. Yeah, that's only 2. Can't say that's terribly useful. But whatever. Yeah, I've been told repeatedly, like, oh, keep every single item, but I don't think that's realistic, to be totally frank. Again, most of these classes are just going to come down to just throwing these guys at a thing. So yeah, I'm not expecting to get anything fancy going on for at least a good long while. Now, Mr. Butts. Okay, you're fire. Steve is that. I feel like Butts needs the upgrade more. How much is that? It's like an upgrade of 1. Intelligence goes down, it's fine. Your butt does not need to be smart, it just needs to be good. Sometimes you just need a good butt. Alright. Now, do a little bit more training. I'll probably get Rick some training, just so we have our resident caster getting a little bit. And then from there, I'll spend the rest cascading down the list. Okay, so this is going to be fight number 4. I kind of want to say, for safety's sake, I might put Steve in for the next fight. Dang it, I forgot to replenish these guys' soldiers. Crap. Hopefully Steve's going to be okay here. So yeah, I forgot to give him another soldier in the front row there. They might not actually have the means of taking this fight on. Let's see, are you attacking weakest? Just attack weakest. This way they can at least hopefully finish somebody off, reduce their offensive potential a little bit, and we'll go... Oh, you know what? No, they're full caster. So yeah, no, these guys are very resistant to them. I take that back entirely. So yeah, we should be fine. Especially, holy crap, now I'm seeing that power-up thing. And you know what? I don't think it's a strength boost. I think it's actually an intelligence boost. Because he went up from, like, doing 20-something to 30-something, now he's doing 60. Oh man, I really hope that it becomes another situation where just Rick is crazy OP again. That'd be awesome. Oh man, if you didn't see the Nemo TDQ one, Rick was just a complete nobody caster that I was actually about to kick out of the team entirely. And then he found all of the right items to become a Lich, and oh, it was just off to the races at that point. It was just fantastic. The only reason he even got picked, by the way, there we go, replace soldiers. Added 6, oof, we took some losses last time. How many do we have left? 1? We got 1 guy left in reserve? Sweet. Also, his skeleton's name is Chick. That's pretty great. Okay, why is the skeleton using a hammer? Whatever. We're gonna go ahead and drop the save state here, drop it a second time just to be safe. Let's go get the save editor up here. Not make the mistake I made a couple parts ago, wherein I ended up just completely overriding the save. But, let's go ahead and open this up, and where are ya? Looks like it should be that one that I just made, which is right here. Edit units. Hello, Mr. Skeletor. Yeah, let's turn you into Gremlin, thanks. There we go, Gremlin. I've been making a couple more Gremlins lately. Again, this is one of the few bits of agency I have on this run, so might as well make it count. And there we go. Saved successfully. Now we just load that sucker up, if I can remember where the button is, and there we go. So now he's a Gremlin. So, yeah, Mr. Trade Fodder is still there. But we're gonna have to stop relying on these grunts so much, and those couple resurrection altars I found, I think I might just use them right here. Okay, first off, let's go ahead and remove this one, I think. That was actually pretty useful right there. Okay, let's change their formation a little bit. So for one thing, these guys are going here and here. Perfect. Okay. Now for you, let's go ahead and remove one of his squads, I think. Move that one. Okay. Move that. Actually, yeah, having a double Gremlin squad might be the best way to do this. Then they can put stuff to sleep, and then all those guys don't get killed off. Okay. Go, give you more grunts, and then this should be like the ideal training squad right here, hopefully. One of these two. I'm assuming the Gremlin one will be better, but we'll see. First things first. Use item. Go ahead and get this leader back up. The ones on the left, I'm gonna go ahead and just money back to life. So them right there, but if a leader gets knocked out, it's kind of just the way I have to do it. Not technically the way I have to do it, but it's, you know, what makes the most sense, I think. And, what else do I want to do here? Okay, first off, carry items. How do I... let's see. Commands, unit commands, carry items. There we go. You need some stuff to actually heal up here, so you're gonna take... What's this one do? I don't know what that one does. Let's take a couple leaves. And then let's take that super healing item, this heal pack. Okay, Nancy, you're alright. Barbara, you're alright. Asnabel, yeah. You're gonna need a couple of those, one of those. I think like 3 heal leaves, power fruit, and yeah. Mostly using heal leaves. Except for him, he's gonna get just heal leaves. Troy... and probably a couple power fruits, because he tends to be kind of marching around a lot. To Amanda, let's give you those. Butts definitely needs one of those, because he's usually always traveling around. One of those for just hopping off. Rick is just getting those because he constantly gets himself killed off. Hello there, Mr. Rakes. How's it going? Wait, what's a level boost? I don't know what a level... I missed something. I don't actually know when that message came in, I'm sorry. I just saw it. I was busy going around shoving leaves down everyone's throats. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take her heal pack away. Because all in all, you know, she's not going to be the one that the run ends if she dies. Okay, there we go. Everybody's all loaded up and all kinds of garbage. Alright, logistics done. Almost. Alright, and you go over here, and there we go. Now we're done. Now we're finally done. So, a little bit more training. See, oh, the fairy power-up works as a level boost? Oh. Okay. Gotcha. So, wait, so why was it that, when I was using it earlier, or rather when it was being used in training earlier, I kept running into a situation where it kept being used on Butts, so he's not the most amazing knight in the world, but his squad seems to do a pretty okay job. But yeah, for whatever reason he kept running into issues. Like, for some reason his attack was going up by like 2 or something. Does that just mean he's bad at his job, or... I don't know. Anyway, let's get Nancy up here. Why do all of these say that strength is everything? Are we getting over-leveled or something? I mean, strength is definitely important when you're using garbage units. Plus, it seems to be doing a pretty good job of ending this guy. Oh, the amount is slightly random? Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Makes sense. So yeah, right now, I'm thinking, you know what, even if we lose all these grunts, I can probably just get more fairy units by going and repeatedly running into those skeleton encounters. They seem to do the job quite well. I could have sworn that skeletons come back to life, though. At least I would think they would have come back to life. Everybody was telling me, like, oh, zombies and everything, you need all your divine stuff and everything. Apparently you can hurt them just fine. Alright, and one more training. Or do I want to save that to get that last fairy up? I think I want to do more training. I think Barbara in particular. Oh, he was just a bit unlucky. Well, dang. At least it's good to know for the future. To talk about time, was just getting bored. Fair enough. I mean, he just got 2 gremlins and this bird guy to hang out with. Oh, so I was actually checking earlier. I wasn't sure if I was wrong on one of my assessments because I thought, what was it? With regards to Hawkmen, do they actually have to be promoted through in order to get one, or can you run into the more advanced variants on the road? Okay, these guys are screwed. Alright, it might be time to retire this lady. I mean, granted, they are running a double gremlin squad here, but still. This is pretty tragic right here. Alright, yeah, let's just... Bye, thanks for the training. We have learned that Barbara sucks. Okay, what can we do? What can we do for that? This is Barbara, right? That's the, Yeah, that's Barbara. Yeah, so she's the one with a dead unit in there. I really don't think that one unit would have made much of a difference. But I am going to change their formation just a slight tad here. Alright. Yeah, she's one of the few that's actually doing damage in that group, so there we go. That'll do. Let's exit the organized screen. Or no, don't exit the organized screen, because I probably need to sell some crap and get a little bit more trading in. Yes, I know, I'm sorry for all the random selling and stuff like that. It's just not exactly an ideal type scenario, so I want to make sure that we're at least as ready as possible. An axe or a hammer, good. Get rid of that. Get a couple of these books gone. I feel like the shield might be handy. I'm just going to keep the shield. Get rid of this totally a dress and not a corset type situation. Torn cloth, get rid of that. Amulet, yeah, we seem to get 5 more of those every day. Get rid of some of those rosaries. It's funny that in this game they actually, you know, properly say that, oh yeah, no, they're rosaries, not anything else. Okay. I think that's probably everything I want to sell. Okay, no, we're gonna sell that shield, actually. Just throw it barely above 400. See who we can train using that. So you can recruit Vartans in Wentius and Dardanelles at the earliest, or Rhodes or Plains. Wait, I can just go to the store and recruit them? Actually didn't know that. So, yeah, I'm actually at Dardanelle right now. Can I just go in and get them there? Because I was just sending everybody out on the roads. Yeah, if I can get one, that'd be ideal. Maybe I can replace Barbara. Which one of these had the den in it? I want to say that one had the den in it. Okay, so it is just the roads and plains, gotcha. Alright, so let's have another quick run through the plains. Think we can maybe find some dudes. So yeah, there's no like flat hiring command in this one, right? Because I don't think there is. Supposed to be higher on plains? Okay. Gotta run through the plains, gotta go through some of that taller grass to find the Pidgeys. Understood. Sorry about that. Bit of a ridiculously loud sneeze going on. Let's have you run through this way. Let's have somebody else run through that way. Yeah, earlier was kind of going along and having everybody climb mountains, seeing if maybe stuff worked better that way. Come on, one of you has to be able to shake one of these birds loose. We can get one. We can get a birdie. Apparently we cannot not send out anyone else. Let's see. Using checkpoint movement, so you can have a single unit. Oh, really? Hang on. How does checkpoints? So if I do that, and then what? Is it from this? Yeah, I have absolutely no idea how to do checkpoint movement, I'm sorry. Definitely feels like something that would be very, very handy to know. Like, I know this one. This is something that somebody just recently told me about. That was being able to switch between location, unit, and everything else for the snapping. Oh, just use another button instead of confirm. Can't remember which one. Okay, let's say... Let's try that one. It's not that one. Not that one. That just does that. Yeah, I have no idea. Thought I'm pushing all the buttons here. Oh, there we go. Gotcha. Excellent. Dude, that's so useful! That's so good! How did I not know about this? So apparently if you just hold down the button, you can, like, triangulate this crap. Perfect, okay. That's gonna save so much time. Okay, now Barbara, you're going to get revived. You go that way, then you go that way. That way! God, I love that! I'm getting way much, wow. Getting way more enjoyment out of this than I probably should. Figured out how to make triangles! Greatest discovery ever. Scientists don't even know how it's done. Wait, you can do that in MOTBQ? God dang, that was... Man, that could have been a much shorter run, huh? Okay, I'm gonna have to try that. So, yeah, last night, we were kind of doing this, like, Thanksgiving Part 2 kind of situation, in which, you know, next week is gonna be ridiculously nuts as far as shopping goes, and we've gone and tried to avoid the whole Black Friday nonsense as much as possible. But yeah. We kind of had this whole thing where they were coming over and everyone wanted to play games, so I was like, okay, screw it, I'm going to break out the SNES. And so, you know, broke out the SNES, and then everybody's off doing their own thing, so I'm like, screw it, I'm going to just play some March of the Black Queen. And I had Ogre Battle Hard Type on the SNES. So yeah, last year, basically, I had spent months trying to get one of those SNES classics, and you can jailbreak those things to run whatever old ROMs you want. So it's pretty freaking great. But yeah, at this point, it's obviously kind of like finding a frickin' unicorn to get a hold of one of those things. Which is, well, it's kind of funny that one of my relatives is like, hey, can you just run to the store and get me one? And at first I was thinking, okay, they're still gonna have them in the store, and then I find out, no, they were limited run, and during that limited run, they were already really hard to get rid of, or hard to find, and then I go on friggin' eBay or something, they're like $300. Like, yeah, saved some money on that one. Definitely gotta say. Also, every time I see Aznabelle, I read that as Annabelle. My bad, dude. Okay, there, and why not there? Sure. Do you think it's the square button on MOTBQ? Understood. I think that's supposed to be X? Don't know, but everybody's off exploring and being all awesome now. Fantastic. Okay, and now everyone's just gonna go take a nap because of course. Yes! Yes! You find that, Hawkmans. Although, join us. Yes! We got us a birdie. Now, I don't think he's gonna be the right kind to actually lead a group. But yeah, we can run into Vartans, right? Like, I've been specifically told that Hawkmen cannot lead groups like that. But they gotta be promoted. Okay, so I don't have... Ooh! Man, this looks fancy! Ah, dang it, what are the requirements to change it, though? Man. I really love that screen. Can't wait to go through and... You know, when... Oh, crap. How do I get out of it? Couldn't figure out how to get out of the screen. Okay, Nancy is encamped. Everybody's camping. Barbara, tell me. Can you revive fairies? Do you believe in miracles? Like you not being terrible? I wonder if I go back to some of those starter areas and have her go and do her thing. Maybe we'll get a little bit of better training. I just feel like she's not very good. Like right now, honestly, if there was a team to be replaced as far as leaders go, she would definitely be on the top of the list. Because she's just not very good. Let's see, it's too early or something. You need level 16 or so for upgraded Hawkman. Crap. If I just keep that Hawkman around, though, does he have to be level 16? Or do I just kind of keep him around and then suddenly, hey, it's unlocked and he can go become one? Or do I only encounter them at that point? Because technically, with this challenge, the limitation that I'm running into is I can't really put him as an extra unit in a team, so I can't really train him. So, yeah. Oh, hello there, Mr. Cowman. How's it going? Hopefully you haven't gotten attacked by any giant flying space pickles or anything today. Okay, so it has to be the second visit. Oh, we're gonna come back to Dardanelle. Okay then. Understood. So, I guess we should probably stop scouring the countryside, huh? Alright, let's hope all of that training was enough. Guess we'll just call this a team-building exercise. We'd had everybody run marathons before going and doing this fight. Alright, I'm gonna be very, very defensive on this one. Whatever it happens to be, because yeah, I'm not terribly confident in most of the team right now. Rick seems alright in terms of damage, but awful in terms of defense. Butts seems to be holding his team together pretty well, and Steve's team is just curb-stomping, but everybody else... I mean, I guess Hugo does alright, but he takes pretty heavy casualties. Leah does about the same. Right, Central Division has taken the slaughter of the reinforcements at Dardanelle as a mutiny. Okay. It wasn't them. Like, weren't they following their own guy? Jeez. We have no idea why Godus decided to involve those monsters, because he wanted Episode 8 to happen, obviously. Certain that the Central Region is worried. They learned that Platinus was employing monsters. Nothing can be said if they consider this kingdom in the lands pagans. Okay. Southern Division was cut off to emphasize that they took no part in the incident. That's a winning strategy right there. Let's just go ahead and turn against their own guys. You've been dispatched to control the chaos. Including Destin, we're sent to this region. Okay. So once again, they're like, yeah, go handle everything. Perfect. Awesome. It's kind of weird. You'd think Destin would be all over that kind of thing. It's like, yeah, no, we already got used to that. Already happened in Zenobia. I see half day is march north. I always love that they tell you how much time it takes. We're gonna take the castle, so almost definitely stay defensive and then take the right. No. There's very clearly a path to the right, which is why we're going to the right. Okay, cool. So we could go to the right. Yes, or go to the... You know what, screw it. Screw it, I tried, you're just not listening to me, Hugo. It's not gonna... That just seems like a really iffy thing, but yeah, stay defensive and go to the right, that's the idea here. Southern Division is of course to be reckoned with. Okay, they're screwed, is what you're saying? Alright, let's see. He will have to level up first. He can change to Vartan once he hits the stat. Okay, well I can't really do that, since I don't think he can solo any fights, so what I'm probably gonna do... I can run into Wild Vartans later, right? Because I can probably just turn him into a fairy for now then, and then later on, you know, if I just find a wild one, I can use it. We'll do that. Alright, and apparently losing your HQ does result in a game over, so that's a bit of a problem. So first things first, take that town. Go ahead and pause. Now I'm gonna have Butts... probably Butts and the Weaklings are gonna go... probably that way. So I'm gonna have... yeah. Troy, Leah, and Steve are gonna defend this area. Everybody else is gonna go along the right. Just because they're by far the sturdiest, or at least probably gonna be the best for this task. I would say, what's his team is the sturdiest? But yeah. Let's see, Aznabel. They're probably pretty good on offense. You go in here, assuming they're probably gonna try to sneak a flyer in. So that's why I have an exit gate on. Oh wait, crap, I forgot to... I gotta put that exit gate on somebody. Katrina. They're also going with them. Let's get Rick in here as well. Figure if we have an absolutely overwhelming number going on, it might be good. Just gonna have Rick here just in case they have somebody really strong against casters. Probably leave Dio behind, everybody else can go forward. So you can find upgraded ones later. Good. Good, good, good. Absolutely what I want to hear. Right, Barbara, please don't suck. Just do what you can to not suck. I'm gonna go over here, see if maybe she can go treasure hunting or something. Maybe she'll find, I don't know, competence hiding in a bush or something. Who knows? And realistically, I'm almost better just firing her. Let's move forward here. Seems like all the Valkyries, aside from Leo over there, are kind of a bit of a crap show. And there we go, just have a caster going in the rightward direction. Let's go do that. Actually, now that I think about it, I didn't leave anyone defending now, did I? Tell you what. Just so they're not tempted. Katrina, you're going to be guarding our HQ. Because her team's pretty sturdy. Last time, it got way, way, way too close to that. Way the hell too close. Right, so Steve will more than likely proceed to absolutely dominate here, as he usually does. Gonna go for the usual beating the leader in every possible instance. Which, conveniently, they decided to make the weakest unit in their party. Fantastic. What a winning strategy. Dang, they're taking punishment for days, though. Yeah, that pumpkin smash. That's not great. Okay, first off, Steve... Tell you what. You know what? You actually stay there for a moment. Let's have you stay and defend for the time being. Katrina, you actually are going to proceed to go and assist with the defense here, because obviously they're going to be doing a bit more than I expected. I know that Pumpkin Smash is apparently percentage-based, which is why they ended up doing so much. Captured Botend. First of all, what do they have here? Okay, we got a Witch Den, we got Stronghold info, yeah, perfect. So we got a revive point right here, even if we don't have the money to use it. You guys are full of hope. Alrighty then, Mr. Hopeless Bob. World's full of opportunities for young people. Depends. Alright, so change as you wish, but don't forget all the people judging and watching. Well, if you're only watching and not really doing anything about it, then I suppose there's not much worry, is there? Okay. Zoom in just a slight bit. Yeah, charging those two forts seems a really stupid idea. Wow, okay, that's a problem. These guys definitely have a lot more abilities than they used to have, too. Somehow we won that. Only because they're repeatedly throwing out debuffs, I think. By the way, if anyone wants to see the animations turned back on, let me know. I just think with how many fights we're fighting, it's probably better off not to have them. And it looks like they've got cleric squads guarding on the right. So either way, hopefully that little division there will be enough. I think they should be enough. But right now I'm mostly just giving Steve a chance to recover. Ooh, okay, they're pretty well leveled up at this point. I wonder if maybe it doesn't work on basic soldiers, though. There's a couple times I've seen basic soldiers get buffed and it didn't seem like they did any extra damage. Right, well, of course they got beaten. This is why we're gonna have to be cycling units. Right, what's your condition? Covered at least a little bit. Okay, it's well enough that I'm just going to use some heal leaves and have him get into it. Because right now, while they're still strong, it's definitely not a time for him to be taking a nap. We'll say that right now Pumpkinheads kind of terrify me. And Halloween must be horrific around here. If anyone could tell me, is there any way to actually go back and replenish their items when you're in a town? Like if you go back to, say, here, is it possible to tell them to go back to HQ so you can redo them, or not? Because I know you could do that in MOTBQ, but I haven't seen that option anywhere, aside from using an exit gate. They're gonna win this one too. We're doing okay for health for these guys. I'm not worried about this party in terms of that, but in terms of counting as a victory or defeat, that's what I'm worried about. Right, come on, Amanda. Go back. I don't know if I told Steve to move yet, but yes, definitely move up. Rick, I'm actually going to have you go back and defend the HQ, because you're not really doing a whole lot of damage at the moment. Oh my god, don't lose that town. We might lose that town, but as long as we take a few units with us, it's perfectly fine. Attacking leader, good. Yeah, double Gremlin squads, those are becoming way too regular. Especially when we're not actually getting all those sleep procs, but they are. Dang it. Like our one advantage. Rude. Rude. It's fine. That was Leah, right? Come on, get back into it. Come on, Troy. Back leader, perfect. Please actually do something. There we go. He's actually starting to get broken through a little bit. Why do you have to hit them? Whatever, as long as Troy's still standing, the majority of the damage in this team is still around. Yeah, he can do some friggin' hurt. Although still, still managed to win that damage race somehow. I will say mechanically this is at least making more sense. The issue I had with March of the Black Queen, at least in the original, I will say this didn't seem to be the case in hard type, but it was very annoying when they would take a town and get instantly healed upon taking that town. It was very, very frustrating. So, like, I know it was supposed to be a, you know, trying to play defensively kind of measure, but it got really annoying when that happened. Almost had the run end several times due to that. Is anybody not taking a nap? Oh, they win. Okay. All those debuffs, they managed to win. Does poison actually stick? Status... Yeah, poison doesn't stick around. What is the actual point? I think Steve should be able to get in there and reinforce before they get overrun. The leader. They might win this damage race. No, they won't. Never mind, they're losing it pretty sharply at this point. Dang it. Winning by technicality over and over. It's fine, come on, get in there. Get in there. Of course, they touch it just by... They take it just by touching it. I couldn't get there a little faster, Steve. So they're still attacking later. Come on, you got this. Completely rock these guys. Taking some losses. Sitting there guarding, and we're actually winning it. Fantastic. Thing is, Steve can't run the entire thing by himself, so hopefully the right side manages to actually hold out a little bit. Okay, Rick, I know you just barely got there, but what is your actual condition? Mr. Wallace is damaged, everybody else... Need to give them a minute. They've lost one of their leaders. Alright, good. Butts finally arrived. They can take this place. Oh, crap. Never mind, they've got golems. Holy crap. Worried about the freaking golems. He just went in there and nearly one-shot their healer. Dude's a beast. Thinking he's got that cool-looking sword now, so there's that. Almost. Almost. But they chased them out of town. Healer's in rough shape. One more attack should be able to finish them off. Perfect. So yeah, after that they should get knocked into the mountains. And we should be good to go from there. So once they get knocked into the mountains, we can just leave them as an optional objective later. Maybe just leave them behind, because honestly golems aren't even seeming like they're worth the effort at this point. But we'll see. Okay, their leader's gone. So it's just a bunch of debuffs. Yeah, if anybody can tell me what the actual point is for poison when it's... I mean, what is that? Do they just lose the rest of their actions or something? It kind of seems like that's what that does. It doesn't seem to actually damage them. Yeah, there we go. Steve coming in for the big save. This is why I wanted to have at least one ridiculously strong unit. Of course, by ridiculously strong in this context, I mean the guy can do some damage. Everyone else can do a grand total of not very much at all. So there's that. Asleep, smacking around, hit the dudes, and we win it. Perfect. Go ahead and attack again, see what happens. It's gonna be the same thing. Alright, good. So they got friggin' kicked in the nuts over there. Fantastic. We haven't even taken any casualties. They're gonna attack again. You know what, Barbara? This is your friggin' opportunity. Take him out. They're probably gonna have to retreat from the golems, but at the very least, they should be able to get some free experience off taking out the leader. Was conveniently just put herself right in the open. You know, good on you to use that big old wall of dudes, and then just keep them to your left. Smart strategy. Great plan. Right. Now I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave Barbara behind. Perfect. Okay, they got some levels. Good. They might be a little bit more competent now. So those golems are just going to sit there, I would assume. Barbara's going to sit, go and re-heal over and over, and keep fighting those guys until she gets a win of some description. So hopefully at that point, she'll just be able to go use all their casting abilities to take out one of them, then the other one, get all that experience off them, and that kind of thing. Alright, so we've decapitated 2 of their squads. Looks like they're sending more in. They sent a couple in to go restore all their soldiers and stuff. Let's see. Poison does power down, the same as Gremlin's Kiss, the opposite of power up. Really? That's all it does? That's the crappiest poison I've ever seen. Is it some better version of it, or is it just as crappy as it sounds? Or is it just for the sake of kind of fitting in with their skill set a little bit better? Alright, smack, smack, smack. Sweet, squishy leader you got there. Sure would be a shame if somebody just beat the Christ out of him. Yeah, that went well for you. Went pretty awesome. It's good stuff, it's good stuff. I need to get some better equipment for Mr. Steve here. Mr., Mrs., whatever he happens to be this time around. So I think once this squad takes this town, they should probably start splitting up, at which point these guys can go in for some finishers. I think Rick's team is hopefully recovered enough by this point to get moving. Yeah, no, they're in good shape. Alright, tell you what, Rick. You go eliminate them. Let's go ahead and send Amanda out to go deal with this one. There you go. Let's go send... who the hell was the other one? Let's probably send Katrina back to go defend the base. Perfect. Let's see, there's no better version, and it's exactly as crappy as it sounds. Good to know. Yeah, I kind of would have figured it maybe lasts longer, like maybe lasts 2 battles or something. You know, I've got a weird tiredness stutter today. God dang, did not sleep at all last night. Little guy kept getting up over and over and over. Like, I don't want to sleep. Oh well, it happens. Alright, caster versus cleric, who wins? Probably the caster. Oh well. Only strategy here is just to run around decapitating squads and then dealing with them later. Good to see that you guys are focusing on one guy like I just told you to. Or, I guess you can't because she's that chick in the back, huh? Oh, and they somehow won that. If you say so. If you say so. Alright. So... Amanda, why don't we have you go around here? Now she does a little bit of interception. Maybe does a little bit of attacking. The Iron Claw was found. Wow. Who the hell ripped apart a ninja and threw him all over this highway? Poor guy. She's going to be here as kind of the advanced element. So if she gets attacked, gets launched back, she can get another attack off at that point. So I feel like it's the best way to do it. We're still going for leader. Perfect. Because yeah, if we set up advanced lines, then we shouldn't have that same situation of losing towns and fighting back over them. By the way, Mr. Rex, quick question. If you lose a town, is it still the same thing as it was in MOTBQ, where you end up losing, like, I think it was like 8 times the Chaos Frame that you gained from taking the town in the first place or something? Because I remember that crap getting really annoying, where they would go and, you know, just barely sneak a guy around. It's like, we stuck a hobo in your trash can. We have taken the town. Sorry, the entire country hates you now. What the hell? How did that happen? Like, literally, what hole did they crawl out of? Think you do? Oh. Well, who? I don't actually know how we check Chaos Frame in this one. I wouldn't expect it to be super good anyway, but whatever. These hoplites are getting to be a bit of a problem, or whatever the hell they're called. Alright, she's just gonna sit there. Rick, what have you done? They're sleeping right in front of you. Now is not the time for mercy. Go for it. What the hell are you waiting for? My doip doip. I'm just gonna go ahead and sit right here. Go for the weakest. Crush, pillage, destroy. Definitely don't want to be dealing with these guys once they're awake, because these pumpkin heads are terrifying. Alright, perfect. And maybe, with one more fight, they can potentially get rid of them. Because whether or not there's a regrouping mechanic, I have no clue whatsoever. It doesn't seem like they can recover out of their decapitated status anymore. It doesn't seem like they can retreat back to town. It doesn't seem like they want to retreat back to town. They just kind of wander around aimlessly. I mean, presumably if they eventually get to a town... I actually wonder if they're allowed to use witch dens. Like, what are their actual revive options? If any, for that matter. Okay. This is why I wanted them in front. Because definitely was expecting them to take some punishment. Hopefully put a few dents in the leader, maybe. Sweet, they just chucked him on top of a random spellbook. Wow, I'm an idiot. I have been doing this entire time and still have not sent anybody up north. Right. Let's get on that. Oh, so I was told that you can apparently pause mid-fight in order to have it pause once you got back to the main menu. Good to know. Good to know. Hello there, prudish duckling. The What is a Mosquito Run? It is a challenge that was issued by my good friend a little while ago, in which I'm supposed to go through the entirety of the Ogre Battle and Tactics Ogre games, using only fairies, gremlins, and in the case of OB64, the Grunt units. As much as possible, anyway. Obviously, even when modding the save file, you can't actually make fairies lead squads, so I'm basically allowed one leader character, and then 4 either grunts, fairies, or gremlins per squad. So they absolutely suck in terms of any offensive capability whatsoever. But yeah, it's been an interesting challenge so far. Already beat Knight of Lotus first, then beat Tactics Ogre 1 Vision. It's the mod for Let Us Cling Together. Then beat March of the Black Queen, and now currently working on this one. Bear in mind, all of this was on an Ironman rule set, so at any point, if the leader had died or a game over of any kind would have happened, the entire run would be friggin' over. So I've been doing this run since like last year, so it'd be really stupid to lose it this early on. Sounds fun and hard, that's probably what she said, but either way, it's definitely been an amusing one. It led to a lot of really weird shenanigans up to this point. Like I have to say, in Knight of Lotus especially, they became pretty near to gods by the end of that game. Which is hilarious, because even at max stats, the fairies in that game, they still did about 60 damage with a super move, with every single emblem, max level, 2 snapdragons on each hand. Still wasn't enough. They still took more damage from using Atropos than they did actually giving it to the last boss. It was kind of nuts. But at any rate, yeah, by the end of the Let Us Cling Together run, they were doing 1 damage and kind of just had to rely on traps for the most part. By the end of March of the Black Queen, we kind of had 2 of the best units defect, just because I didn't really understand what's going on there. Bear in mind, I had never played March of the Black Queen, and I'd never played OB64, so this is kind of going in blind. I love doing retarded runs. It's just fun. So if you liberate a town, your chaos frame goes half a point up. If you capture it, the CF goes 2 points down. If you lose a town, it also goes 2 points down. Dang. Okay, well, it's at least 4 times, not 8 times. God dang, that thing tanked out quick in MOTBQ. Alright, come on, just take out these pumpkin heads, they're freaking terrifying. Let's see. It's one of my favorite games on the 64. Yeah, I've been... What the hell was that? Hang on, turn on those animations. What the hell kind of machine gun crap is he firing here? Crap. Okay, I know that one does like 50% or whatever. Okay, that was something. The name mechanic existed, couldn't remember where. Yeah. Well, what? Okay, that's my controller being janky. Sorry about that. I thought it was going and showing me some random cutscene or something. It turns out that is not the case. Okay. First of all, Rick, you need some friggin' healing, dude. Thankfully, these healing leaves do a pretty fantastic job. Apparently, they became way more potent in this continent. I gotta say, them things were a little bit weak later on down the line. Especially the original version of the PSP remake. I don't know why they only do 25. Them things were nigh worthless. Actually, so I was doing that Scrooge run of the original, kind of off in my own time there. And whoo boy, that's just friggin' having a unit get charmed and they're running around wasting all of your items, and they all do practically nothing. It's just depressing, man. Alright, here's the plan. Send Steve out over here. He can potentially break through these guys' defense. These guys are going to do a bit of a distraction run this way, so I'm just going to send Troy out. They're going to go take this town. Hopefully that'll prevent any shenanigans out of here. Barbara, you take these guys on while they're napping. So you do that. Then I'm going to send Leah... No, I'm going to send Amanda. No, I need Amanda here. Amanda is going to go out, form an advanced wall up here, and then Leah, you're going to go back and just protect this town just in case. So there we go. Now hopefully that'll be good enough. Let's see that happen. The pumpkin shower, that's what that move was? I mean, whatever it was friggin' nuts. Just basically took him out from full health to nearly nothing. If Pumpkin Smash didn't go off a 50% thing, that would have been the end for him. So on top of this, on top of the fact that they already have no attack power, no anything else, they can't change their equipment in this one, and, you know, because there weren't enough things, we basically have to spend all our money on training, so if at any point anyone goes down, that is some very expensive crap right there. Alright, anyway. Yeah, it kind of becomes one of these things where I'm trying to make sure that there's no losses anywhere. MOTBQ, there was kind of an acceptable loss type of situation, where I could go and send in a whole bunch of trash units to go and at least wear down some other stuff. I can't say that's really the case here, but we'll see. Oh, and by the way, speaking of... Okay, Rick. Yeah, you are going to be in a bit of trouble here pretty soon, so... You head over this way. I think that Phalanx unit is going after him. Alright, yeah, please go for leader again. You're gonna have to cut through the casters up front. Is that the leader? No, it isn't. None of them can really reach the leader except for those two in the back. They're just asleep. Actually, let's turn these animations back off since, again, we're gonna be fighting a whole bunch. I'll say a saving grace so far is that these guys are crazy resistant to casters. So, at least we counter something, you know? All those casters can't concentrate. All this friggin' buzzing in the air. It works. It does something. You need to go this way. Don't know why you're going that way. Crap. Right, that's why he's going that way. It's the most direct route. Alright. No healing element. That's a friggin' winning strategy right there. And their leader is completely exposed and a very weak class. Good to know. Explain to me why you didn't make that knight into your leader. You know, that well-armored guy that's well-protected and doing a good job of holding his own. Just, you know, kind of wonder. I wonder what you're thinking on that one. Like, I'm not complaining. It's definitely a good thing for me. I'm just kind of surprised. Like, people told me the unit compositions made no sense a lot of the time, but god dang, I didn't realize they were that bad. Okay, got Verts. Freaking loving this game so far, though. Like, I have not been this excited trying out a new thing probably since the OV mod came out last year. Holy crap, what? It's this early? And they just have it in the store. Okay, this is probably the best example of a friggin' Disc 1 nuke I've ever seen. I have no idea how you'd ever get that much money so far, but... crap, man. That is some stuff. Also, not very accurate. Chainmail, not actually weak to thrusts. Weak to spears, but that's only because they kinda can go through a lot of stuff, not just mail. But thrusts inherently, not so much. It's kind of interesting that some testing was actually done on that. Well, testing that did not involve the History Channel and all that weird crap they were trying to pull a while ago. kind of depressing. Like, for such a long time, I thought, like, oh yeah, you know, History Channel, you can trust their stuff and everything. And then all that stuff came out of, like, yeah, they just literally hired whoever to go do a lot of their testing. And it was stuff like, oh yeah, let's use a blunt sword on something. Oh, everything out of Europe was all blunt. How about that? Like, what? But what? But why? Why didn't you try? I mean, you had the resources. You got a real chance there. Alright. So I think Steve can take these two. I'm worried about that phalanx potentially killing Rick. That's going to be a problem. But I think other than that, we should be okay. But anyway, my real hope, sometime within the near future, is that somehow, some way, they make another classic console, like they did with the NES Classic, SNES Classic, PS1 Classic, which, by the way, holy crap, that thing's disappointing. They just put they put so many things on there that just don't really make sense. Well, in terms of normal stuff, anyway. I was just really bummed out that it didn't. Hey, what? Oh, it's because I had him take a weird route. That's why. I was really bummed out that it didn't have the original Armored Cores on there at all. Like, I know my brother and I, we played the hell out of that. And I was actually considering getting it for my wife and I for Christmas, because, well, she really loved Spyro, I really loved Armored Core. I figured, okay, those two are like staples. That has to be there. And no. It's like, no, they just didn't exist. I'm sorry. If you get the overseas ones, they do. You can't get that in the States, though. Screw that. I'm not gonna bother getting that thing done. I'm freaking gonna emulate a PS1 on anything short of a toaster. But, oh well. Oh well, what can you do? What can you dang well do? Alright, so Steve will take over this little situation. Troy... Tell you what. You use these. Use your condition. You're basically fine. Okay. Now, Troy's gonna take over his defensive posture here. Do that. Oh, dang, hang on. Need to step away for like 30 seconds here. One moment. Alrighty, and I'm back. Go figure, it actually was 30 seconds for once. So, I have to say, I know it's been said a million times, but cats really are dicks. It's a strange thing to bring up. Well, I say that as one knocks a bunch of stuff over just now. Thanks, bud. Thanks, I'll clean that up in a minute. But, what I'm trying to get at here, like, when I go and check on my kids and when they're going and taking a nap and everything, there's this second door that we end up having closed most of the time, just to keep, we have a couple cats running around, so the idea is, the cats stay on one side, they don't get all annoying and wake them up and all that kind of thing. Every time that I open that door, they are hiding somewhere. Every time I open it up, they sneak through. They're not going to go annoy the kids intentionally. They're not going to do any of that. They're going in there to stare at the guest toilet. They just walk in there and stare at the thing. There's no anything else really going on there. They do this 100% of the time. If they're within range of that door, if I don't get my foot in the way in time, they will go through and they will stare at that toilet. Why is friggin' anyone's guess? They just really, really want to look at that toilet, and they will do so all night. Like, if my kiddo wakes up during the night, right? They will try to sneak in there. It'll be completely dark, so open one door. We're trying to keep them out of one room, so I have two doors that I have to keep closed. They'll sneak in there. They'll just go start staring at it, and then 20 minutes later, I'll assume everything's fine. Go to bed. Like, okay, good. Finally got the kid to sleep. He was having a bit of a tantrum in the middle of the night. Everything's all fine. Suddenly, in the camera, I'm just hearing meow, 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 and that's it. I go over and let him out, and then suddenly I'm hearing one kid screaming, which wakes up the other one, then she starts screaming. Why? Why are you such a dick? It's a toilet! You don't need to go in there! Anyway. Random story for the day. Oh yeah, speaking of random stories for the day, I kept seeing this one video pop up over and over in my suggested stuff. So this morning I'm eating some breakfast and go take a look, and apparently some lady, well, pretty much had an absolute dream life set up for herself. Like, everything's going absolutely fantastic. No questions asked on the awesomeness of everything that was going on there. Like, friggin' absolute stability for decades and whatever. And then they decided to just kind of throw that all in the trash because they decided they needed a really, really fancy wedding for some reason, and then went and alienated their entire family because apparently they tried to get every single person in their family to pay quote-unquote only $1,500 to actually attend the thing, and God, it's like, I can't even imagine. Throwing away what is essentially a perfect life for something that stupid. Because yeah, literally their plan was like, oh yeah, we need to go see a psychic. Oh, now we need to go have a friggin' $60,000 wedding just overseas somewhere. And then they just completely lost their friggin' mind over it. It's just nuts. Like, again, I don't understand it. Not even slightly. Ooh, that guy's got a falchion or something. Huh. Wonder what that actually is. I wonder if it actually is just a falchion. Funnily enough, it would be an interesting place to have it, because, they did come about a little bit after the standard broadsword was looking for a few different design quirks. When they started looking for something that was a more dedicated cutter, I believe it was actually to try and get through padded armors a little bit easier. Because after a while, just padded armor turned out to be kind of the standard. Well, see, those things never end well? Exactly. I don't even know why it was popping up on my recommended stuff, because I didn't watch anything slightly related. But, God, it was nuts. Like, I told my wife as soon as she got back, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I saw something today that made us feel really, really economical, because I think our wedding, all in all, was like $200. Because, like, everything just lined up perfectly, had all kinds of people supporting all kinds of different stuff, and the biggest expense from the thing, I think, was actually the picture guy. So overall, went pretty darn well, I'd say. But yeah, she's fantastic at figuring out that stuff. Like, I swear, my wife is an absolute genius. Like, whatever else, she is friggin' amazing at everything. Like, it's... If you ever... the whole thing of like, oh yeah, no Mary Sues exist in real life? I married one. It's just, seriously, good at everything. Everything she touches just turns to gold. It's amazing. Anyway, moving on. So, Steve has seemingly successfully taken over this town single-handedly, or with the help of his fellow mosquitoes anyway. So these should just be a punching bag now. Perfect. I don't know how I'm exactly attacking them sideways, but good enough. Doesn't even matter. I was like, yeah, whatever. They attacked us from the side. That's a sweet flank you got there with your no attack power. Actually, in the, what's it? What are you? In the, that community fan mod situation, I saw they were testing around with giving clerics a melee attack. So he achieved a lot more than we expected, liberated this and all of this, and surprised me again. Okay. Well, I mean, you're welcome. We got rid of those pesky clerics. You're welcome. Guess we proved that we're so good at being nice Catholics that we kicked the church out of here. Great. That's how we did it. That's how you do it. And we've only taken one casualty so far, so so far so decent. We actually might go positive this time. Oh, by the way, Mr. Rakes, if you're still around, quick question for you. As far as having my main unit get retardedly overpowered, is that something that will affect Chaos Frame? Like, will everybody completely despise him again? Because that's kind of what happened last time. Hang on, pause. What is left of your team? That guy's dead. Some grunts. Okay. Rick, guess what? I've got lunch for you. You go ahead and break camp. And go ahead and eat some friggin' Ewoks. How about that? Then after that, this team can move forward. Actually, let's have you move forward just a slight bit here. But yeah, kind of the main things I'm still wondering about are A, what is their actual, like, do they have a revival mechanic as far as their units go, like they did in MOTBQ, wherein, like, if they lost their leader, they found their way to a town, and then instantly they got everybody back up at 100% health, or anything like that, because it feels like they're running off the same rules as we do, because I haven't seen anybody come back to life, I don't think, except for when they owned a witch den in town. And if that's the case, oh my god, I have to give this game the biggest credit for detail if that's actually how it works. Let's see, I suppose that's a norm. You make a normal wedding, everybody gets $50 to $100 gift as a gift, and you cover the expenses and buy a TV or something on a trip. Yeah, I think we left everybody with probably enough leftovers to eat for a friggin' week. And then still had enough food to go and fill up an entire, fill up an entire balcony, because it was winter, so we basically just used it as a second fridge at that point. And yeah, some dickhole squirrel comes over and friggin' eats all of it. And yeah, for months after that, I ended up seeing this retardedly fat squirrel just friggin' lumbering along everywhere. One time I even saw him fail to make a jump onto the balcony for more food because he was just too fat to jump. That cracked me up. We still have, still reference the legend of Chunky Squirrel every now and then. God, he was such a chunky, nutty bastard. But yeah, no, we didn't even really have anyone bring gifts. Like, there was a whole wedding shower kind of thing beforehand, but it was literally just like, okay, here's a list of stuff that would be useful to have. If anybody feels like covering it, you know, whatever, it will be okay one way or another. I mean, if anybody's got an extra penny, you know, like, for example, we could use a Gretel or something, would help in the mornings, or we could use a baby monitor. It's like, I think we got baby monitor out of that, which we're still using 2 years later. Or 3 years later, I should say, actually. Let's see. We got it. I think we just got like a crap load of baby clothes. But yeah. Let's see, if the victor is much higher level, the units will lose alignment, but it doesn't do anything to Chaos Frame. Okay, good. Good. Because yeah, that caused us to be really iffy last time. I mean, I'm assuming his alignment has some effect on the story. It should have some effects. What is his alignment at this point, anyway? Neutral. He is all neutral. Okay. Tell you what, Mr. Viking Man, why don't you go ahead and terminate this check, because that would be very helpful. Rick, you take over this town. Not leaving any town undefended at this point. But your assistance is... or actually, you're going to defend for the time being. But yeah, we're going to need everybody to take on this phalanx unit here. It would be a little bit of an annoyance to finally end up losing here because we can't deal with one phalanx. Right. Deal with him. Try to fight as outside of town as possible. There we go. Crush, destroy, etc. Also, I'm a little bit surprised. There have been quite a few more people that ended up doing that whole following type situation. So that's been all nice and handy. Actually, only, what's it like? If only 9 more people end up going and joining the thing, I can actually monetize it. I don't know how much that actually gives, apparently piss all, but it's a nice thing. So yeah. How about that? Also, Amanda got kicked in the friggin' nuts over here, that's a shame. Thankfully she's not losing anyone still, but whatever. She's doing alright peck damage, I suppose. At least they're damaging the Birdman. I think this is the squad that kept retreating over and over. One that used to be the double squad. Dang, yeah, without their sleep buff, they're getting a bit rocked here. No! We finally lost someone. Come on, Troy, you are the better phalanx. You are the better phalanx! Yeah, his spear isn't really much of a spear as much of a glaive at that point. Okay, come on, you got this. Like, Troy, for being some rando guy that joined us, he's really doing his job well. Ooh, free dragon. But you know what's kind of funny, though? Despite everything, I'm not persuaded. Well, crap. If I run away, I don't know if they'll get thrown backwards, and I can't afford that right now, so screw it. Fight that dragon. Okay. So, hang on, what was I getting at here? Oh yeah, so yeah, after testing with the stats, as far as why I was going and testing and messing with their stats in the save editor and all that sort of thing, the whole reason was primarily because I really, really wanted to know if, when I'm going and changing these random units into fairies or whatever, they're getting some kind of advantage or whatever. And it turns out, yeah, the scaling is so miserably low that it just completely does not matter at this point. Holy crap. He just crushed your friggin' skull in. Also, I found out apparently that guy's got some seriously nefarious stuff going on. But, alright. Oh, wow. That couldn't possibly be darker, could it? Friggin' smashed that lady in the face and she dropped her rosary. Yeah, that is depressing crap right there. Yeah, that phalanx is screwed. Perfect. Thrust. Do some damages, and he didn't fall asleep, that's a shame. Power down on the guy with no power to speak of anyway. Yes. Wow, they actually won that time. I guess he doesn't get any attacks in the back row. Good. Frickin-tastic. Now, Rick is guarding here, yes? Alright, Mr. Steve, I need you to go take this town. And then we should be done here. Alright, Barbara, you try to take out these guys again. Do I have any spare units? Not terribly so. Trita, you take this town just for safety's sake. Those two are gonna go fight him up in the mountains. Now, I'm very tempted to just give Barbara that friggin' champion statue. Just have her instantly level up or something. But I know I need to save it for Steve later. Or at least one of his helpers. Actually, no, what I want to do is save it for... what's it? Save it for the Hawkman. Yeah, these guys are boned. In fact, I'm gonna let Amanda finish them off. I know Troy's been doing his thing. Mr. Troy, I'm gonna need you to go back to your defensive posture here. But you're gonna go in to launch the first wave. Steve will be in to assist shortly, and then Amanda, you are gonna go ahead and hunt this guy down. What is her status, though? She's fine, he's fine, they've lost a guy, but they're alright. Yeah, okay. They're in good condition. They should have no trouble taking them out. Especially since he's just kind of wandering around aimlessly at this point, trying to find someplace to retreat to. And no matter where he goes, he's done for. But if Amanda can get a bunch of good stuff out of it, I'm not going to say no. Yeah, he'd have to get a crit at this point to be able to pull anything off. Yeah, he's got nothing. And despite that, still technically won. One chunky guy and a gremlin versus like 8 people. Yeah, no, he's the one that wins it. Steve's reached it, and they're attacking Mr. Godislas. Is he gonna be a frickin' demon? How could this happen? Because Well, gee, I wonder how this went poorly. Ooh, this guy's back. Oh man, so is this like the first proper appearance? Well, no, actually, Lucht would have been the first proper appearance of the Dark Knights, but is he one of them? You did quite well for yourself? Well, not really considering the circumstances. What have you done? Screwed you over like they do to friggin' everyone. Wait, what? Oh, wow. They friggin' ate his family? Dude. Whoa, 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 what? The hell? Wow, screw this guy. I thought he was a good guy. Yeah, no, they got a bum deal on that one. Absolutely a bum deal. Yeah, Fruit of the Netherworld. So basically those are the Zodiac things. They end up mentioning them in MOTDQ, but I guess this is the first time they get actually used. And then they end up coming back in FFT. I think is how that's supposed to go. Jeez. Like, well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and die now. Yeah, no. That was always gonna happen. It's totally gonna transform. Yep. Wow. He's doing his little hoity-toity douche dance back there. Wow, that's it? That's all he's got? That's all it's gonna take to beat this guy? Is he seriously? What does Fest do, I wonder? You know, let's turn the animations off since this guy's gonna last like 5 seconds apparently. It appears we're not even gonna need Steve for this. He's gonna get one-rounded by fairies. Wow. Alright, that went way better than expected. Reach the top. Please tell me he transforms. No! Why doesn't he transform, dang it? Would have expected him to do that whole FFT thing. Dude got rip. Rest in pointlessness. So kinda did him a favor by the sounds of things. S-Stock, good bit of cash. 8 new dudes. We actually went positive on dudes for the first time in a couple fights. Good stuff, good stuff. And we got us a sweet castle out of the whole deal. Neat. Well done, Steve. This guy looks like he should be a train conductor. Conducting the revolutionary train. Well, see, here's the thing. Did we do the right thing? Well, upon being confronted, the guy sacrificed his family and summoned up frickin' demons. I think it's safe to say that everything went great. See, the entire kingdom and the Lotus Empire, yeah, the Lotus was always against you. And everyone for that matter. Yeah, we kinda do. He farted out those things. I guess he wouldn't know yet, but still. Exactly, exactly. I mean, hell, this entire run is one big difficult problem, isn't it? Technically, there should be no way to win, and yet we're still doing alright, so... So you do know is that the cheers you hear... Good. Good. You get those cheers. See, to be fair, that toilet makes obscene gestures at the cats when you're not looking. Yeah, I guess. I guess it does. I guess it does. Save. Oh, dude, did we just beat Chapter 1? I think we just beat Chapter 1. Hell yeah. Alright, so anybody that was betting on death in the first chapter, suck it. Anyway, moving on to the next bit. Yeah, I'm loving this game so far. It's so dang good. Just like everything about it is just done so right. Anyway, Triumvirate at the Holy Empire ordered... Oh, well, okay. So he gonna die next, is what you're saying? He sends orders to east and west. Well, they gotta deal with south and central now, don't they? They gone dead. 2 months later. Wait, we did nothing for 2 months? Well, then again, we did spend about 15 years putzing around collecting birthday cake. So there's also that. And wait a minute. Is this guy in charge or isn't he? Okay, we've got fancy advanced classes by the looks of it. Those like advanced archers or something? I know those guys in the front are, I think they're paladins or something. See, immediately after the appointment of the new general, Western Division advanced on Alba. Full-scale battle between the West and... what? And us? Oh, okay. That's fine, that's fine. See, the plus side is, they're not really thinking this through. Because I know the paladins can heal. But here's the thing. Then they're serving double duty. So, ooh. The church chose to remain silent? Yes. You know why? Because the Mosquitoes started in a church. They know it's better to stay silent. You bet 50? Bet 50 on that? Well, alrighty then. Guess you owe me 50 air particles or whatever you bet. While trying in darkness, no path can be found? False. You just feel around with your feet. You go barefoot. This feels like concrete. I must be going in the right direction. Alright. Should go back. Does he actually have good advisors now? Okay, so he isn't leader of anything. He's just puppet for now. He's gonna make him fight us, isn't he? Okay, yeah, no, that totally looks like he's gonna make him fight us. Oh yeah, no, if he's... yeah, no, he's totally gonna be made to fight us, isn't he? Seems like we're setting up some tragedy here. Just made him take care of your personal... Dude! You got a free hooker. Jeez. Man, that is, it's like, here, take this weapon. Also, you know, free donut slave, I guess. Mary... You... She looks like, kind of like Olivia from, Luft, actually. Ow. Dude, she drunk? Oh, earthquake. Okay. You summoning demons again? Or what, did they have an earthquake and get insta-preggers or something? It was a weird scene, man. Weird scene. Oh, sweet, we got griffins again on the banner. Yeah, this is a lot like Luft's story, isn't it? So, still no activity from the church. Okay. Well, okay then. I mean, considering everything that happened in Zenobia there, since they kind of got the A+ ending, apparently, they kind of should be for us, so... Alright, cool. And I'm pretty sure at this point they'll probably mention, like, hey, you know that guy, go fight everything. See, there's an area in the west which people are enslaved. Okay. Wait, who's that guy again? Wait, Balmokins? Balmokins, are they actually talking about the Balbodians? I know that this one has a bunch of weird translations for the areas, so it's a little bit hard to keep track. Also, seriously, who the hell is Zevik? And a whisper? Even take, kinda. It's not the worst idea ever. Okay. Now, I mean, if we just walk up and down the highway a bunch of times, I'm sure they'll join us for free without having to use them as slaves. I mean, he does have a point. That's generally how it ends up going. Alright then. What you do is send in Steve, then he just stands at the front, fights everyone, and goes and takes a nap when he's tired, and then goes back and does the same thing again. And then you just do that until you win the war. That's how it's worked so far. No reason why it should stop now. Yeah, that is a great many steps, dude. Yep, called it. I gotta think about this with my fancy hat. Alright, and with that, oh no, more cutscenes, never mind. Our leader. I mean, generally speaking, it's just been to be the good guy this entire time. So wait a minute, what the hell? Why is this thing not charging? It's beeping at me here. Wait, the reality they have to face... I'm pretty sure he's been on the front lines of all of it so far. Okay. So... now we got Malaysia again. What we got going on here? Got a couple... now we have one new guy. Got 9 replacement units, so we can at least replenish those, and then need to do some training type stuff. Now, let's run a couple things, see if we can make Barbara not suck. Okay. There we go. Come on, we're paying another $200 to see if you can become not trash, please. See, look, this chick isn't even clothed, and the rest of her soldiers are just like friggin' Ewoks, so come on. Surely, you know, this has to be a win. You have to be able to pull this off. Wait, understand, Orlando? Come to think that, now that you know, the more I think back on it, I completely don't remember what his whole reason was for being allegedly executed in that one. Yeah, it's weird. I've been running that one twice recently, and I just can never remember what the deal is there. Like, what exactly he did, why he did it. It's all friggin' Greek to me. Hell if I know. It was something like wrong place, wrong time, and then disagreed with the wrong person at the wrong time or something. I remember that line in particular, that's why I mentioned it, but... eh. Funny part is, if that poison's just doing power down, they're literally just buffing and debuffing over and over. So the only actual attacks going on are the 3 in the back row and little soldierly guys. So we're gonna be here a minute. I think they said all of these fights scale off your highest unit, so it's very likely that these guys are just over-leveled and that's why we're doing nothing to them. Could very, very, very easily be the case. But basically after the end of this fight, I'm probably going to call it for the day. Because I do have other things I need to get on to. We just slowly peck away, 5 damage at a time. Or 1 in her case. And I'm going to turn that Hawkman into probably another fairy. Or maybe another Gremlin. We'll see, we'll see. Probably should replace one of her units with a Gremlin. Probably the one on the left. That way it stays relatively safe, but it would probably up her defensive situation a bit better. Man. That poison thing... come to think of it, I don't think it's even stacking, too. So if all they're getting is... oh, man, that's a downer. If all they're getting from the poison is a one-time power down, so if they're training, it could not be more worthless. They're getting the same effect over and over that they got the first time. I think. I wouldn't think it stacks. It doesn't look like it stacks. Eventually, they'll win this fight. I mean, it'll take them a minute, that's for sure. It's not the fastest process in the world. But they'll get there, you know, just gotta let them try a little bit. Look the weakest. I mean, these little guys are weirdly resistant to lightning. Must be all that leather they're wearing. Yes, it's not explicitly said that it's leather. I mean, it just says half armor. It kind of looks like a padded coat. Which, I don't really know why you call that half armor. I'm just going to assume they're wearing gambesons. Gambesons and spears seems like a good way to call it. Mostly the only thing I just want to show from this fight is how much experience they can potentially get out of this. Yeah, I can't really imagine a more ideal fight for this crappy team. Could be wrong, but I really can't imagine a better one. Like, maybe if they came in with, I don't know, just a single Grunt squad, which would be impossible. Oh, you know what else I just noticed? Once we changed sides, all of the soldiers that we were fighting changed too. Huh. That's a neat little detail. I wonder if it's actually true, though, or if I just never saw those same encounters again. Suddenly they became a lot more raggedy and a lot less official, save for the phalanx squads. Not sure. I'm sure somebody will correct me on it. Alright, come on, 1 health. There you go. And only a little bit to go. Come here, coffee. Friggin' delicious fluid of utter hyperness. Let's see. For future stuff, by the way, planning to hopefully finish up the AC-1 rocket-only one tomorrow. So we'll do that at that point, so I'll probably follow that up with probably the remainder of Chapter 2 for the Scrooge run. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Finally, that took them only 1 billion years. And the 2 that can't actually attack level up. Fantastic. Alright, good stuff. Well, that'll be that for now then. So thank you for stopping by. Have an awesome day, and have a fantastic one, and I will see you as soon as possible. Alright, take care.